Hi, I'm Bob Weir with another interview of notable people in South Carolina. My guest today is Chris Huff, a candidate for the Republican nomination to the South Carolina State House in District 28 in the June 11th primary. Thanks for being here, Chris.
Thanks for having me.
If you would please begin by telling our viewers something about yourself, such as education, occupation, etc.
Well, I'd like the folks at 28 to know that I grew up right here. My elementary school, middle school, high school is Simpsonville Elementary, Hillcrest Middle, Woodmont High School, and then not too far down the road I went to Erskine College where I met my wife, and then after that I went to work for the family business. We owned the Exxon station here in Simpsonville for a long time, Huff's Exxon, and then after that we moved over to Huff's Power Equipment over on 25 in District 28, and my wife's been an educator by trade. She got her degree from Erskine in education, and then got a master's in education administration from Furman after we graduated.
Oh, wow. And of course your full bio is on the written portion, so they can read that there as well.
Right.
Okay, if you would tell us something about District 28, describe the boundaries.
Man, District 28 is huge. You know, in order to get the people that they want to have, the number of people that they want to have, the borders are extremely large. We go from Lawrence County line over to the Belton line on 247, and then we catch the Anderson County line and run up Highway 20 all the way to Piedmont. And then from Piedmont it shoots across Piedmont Highway and down Georgia Road and across to Conisty on the backside of Malden, and then comes down Malden and then picks up just on that side of 385 and catches Fairview Road on that side of Simpsonville, and then back across.
Area,
yeah, it's a huge area, huge area.
How about getting into some of the most serious issues facing the state of Carolina, South Carolina?
You know, we've got issues just like other states, but I think one of the biggest issues we have both here in the state, but also even on a local and federal level, is just budget accountability and responsibility. The budgets have gotten out of control, and you know, the taxes that are taken up aren't used for what they're supposed to be used for. And one of the things that I've said since I started is I want to see accountability and responsibility in Columbia when it comes to both working on the budget, preparing the budget, presenting the budget, and even handling the budget fiscally, but then also in how we handle the tax revenue. And when money's taken up for roads, it should be used for roads. When money's taken up for education, it should be used for education. This idea that we can then reallocate and earmark funds that came in, and then 10 years down the road we say, oh, infrastructure's behind because we didn't spend it on the infrastructure, right, is really frustrating to me.
Right. Yeah. How often does the legislature meet?
They can call them in for special session, but my understanding is that the House meets usually 3 days a week during the months of session.
Yeah. And
the months of session is right around 6 months a year.
And the role of a House member is to enact laws, obviously, right? To propose laws.
Well, to perhaps propose, but then also debate and finalize a proposal that then goes to the other branch of legislature, obviously the state Senate, and yeah, then from there the two would send a finished bill to the executive branch to then be signed in. And so yeah, this is how we legislate as a state. And
I understand the current representative in District 28 has endorsed you. That's Ashley Trantham.
Yeah, Ms. Ashley Trantham has been a great representative for us for 7 years, or she will have finished her 7th year when this year is over, and she's been a great conservative fighter for us and has represented District 28 very well. And when she was on the phone with me back in January, she said, Chris, I've had 3 people ask me to endorse them. I can't endorse any of them. If you run, I'll endorse you. And that was what spurred me to pray and talk with my wife and really consider, is this the door that God had put before us, and is this where we needed to serve.
Then I guess she would endorse you as a conservative herself. She would endorse you because you're a conservative.
Oh, absolutely. The one thing that I say at the door, and I'll say this even on the video, for anybody that's looking, there are 5 candidates in this race, in this primary race, and of the 5, my commitment to you face to face, eye to eye, is I will be the most conservative of the 5. So that's my commitment.
Chris, have you run for office before?
I have not.
Okay, well, that's good. Great to see people coming in who haven't been in there forever. Like, you know, it's always nice to see that. Now, let's get into some specific issues like the open carry law. Is it a permit needed to have a concealed weapon in South Carolina?
So with the law that was just signed in, you know, we've gone to a truer Second Amendment rule in this state. So no, the permit is not necessary. There are a few little nuances, I guess, that you can read in that. I don't know that we really want to go through all of the nuances of it, but no, you don't have to have a permit in order to carry anymore in the state of South Carolina.
And how about the current law governing abortion in the state?
So I think that's a ball that's kind of moving, and we'll see where we land as a state. Personally, I'm pro-life, and that's where I would like to see us is be in a position where we protect all life, protect the life of the mother, life of women, life of babies, life of everybody. I believe that's a constitutional obligation. For me, I understand when life begins is at conception, and so therefore I believe that the framers of our original documents as a country have told us that we're to protect life, and so I believe the issue is protecting life, and so that would be my position when it comes to abortion.
South Carolina is a red state. Does it have a Republican supermajority? Do you know?
Yeah, we've had a Republican supermajority for over 2 decades, and the problem with that, we've had a great supermajority here where we should be one of the truest, reddest states in the union.
Yeah.
However, when you look at the way we vote, our voting record as a legislature right now is the 2nd most liberal voting legislature, only to Hawaii.
Amazing. Yeah, that is amazing. And the chairman of the South Carolina Republican Party is Drew McKissick.
Correct.
I know we're being grabbed by the clock because this goes very quickly, but I want to mention your campaign website is www.votechrishuff.com, and you can get more information on voting by going to www.scvotes.gov. Chris, is there anything else you'd like to add before we close?
No, I'd be honored for folks to support us and vote for us. My commitment, again, is conservative principles, conservative values, less government, less taxes, more representation of the people. My goal is to go to Columbia and represent the values and the principles that we espouse here in District 28. Stand for those, fight for those, and be a true representative for those principles.
Right, and again, we remind the voters that the primary is June 11th, but early voting is underway right now. I know my wife and I went to vote yesterday, right here in Simpsonville. You can vote in, we're in Fountain Inn, but you go to Simpsonville to vote, and we did yesterday. And anyway, again, I want to thank you, Chris, for taking the time to come over and do this interview, and I want to wish you good luck in the election.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
And thank you for watching.